Here's the hard truth. Most IT project managers are just glorified administrators. They track tasks, update spreadsheets, and report status, and then wonder why they hit a career ceiling. I trained over 500 project managers and discovered that great IT project managers operate completely differently. And in the next 12 minutes, I'll reveal the 5 approaches that separate PM superstars from everyone else. And you'll discover techniques like value register that multiply your impact in the organization. And by the way, if you want to become a great IT project manager, also check out the development plan in the description below. It's your roadmap to project management mastery. The first thing that separates great IT project managers from everyone else might surprise you. It's not their motivation skills or how friendly their team is, it's something much less flashy, but infinitely more powerful. Think about your typical IT project. 80% of the project lifecycle is usually execution with Scrum or Kanban. And this part should be a well-oiled machine that works without you. But instead, most managers are trapped in a reactive cycle, spending 80% of their time firefighting with daily challenges and only 20% on proper project management. That's why great PMs flip this ratio completely. Average project managers treat each project as a unique challenge, building an approach from scratch and personally solving every project problem. They become the center of their project universe, where everything flows through them. The truth is, this creates a career trap you can't escape from, because your boss can't promote you when you're irreplaceable part of this project. Meanwhile, the truly exceptional project managers build repeatable processes that function without them. For example, consider one of my students, Amia, who implemented a new workflow process to validate project budgets in a huge organization with 125 cost centers across 4 business units, which reduced vendor payment delays by 30%. Do you think that she built a valuable process? Just from the description, does it sound like an exceptional achievement? That's exactly why, in practice, great project managers create, for example, standardized requirements templates that reduce the number of meetings. They establish automated reporting systems and provide teams with clear workflows. But at the same time, they don't create these dusty project management plans nobody reads. They build practical tools that team actually adopts. For example, you need just one diagram to explain how to use the whole Jira for a given team member. Also, think about task estimation rules or a clear escalation framework. And think about it, all these examples require just one diagram each. That's all it takes to explain how it works. When you build such systems, you create a machine that runs reliably even in your absence. This transforms you from someone who is fixing local problems into a leader creating solutions that can work across the whole organization. And that's precisely what organizations need in the current age of AI. Next, we have another secret that separates great IT project managers from everyone else. Most project managers follow this predictable pattern: handling assigned projects, accumulating whatever experience comes their way, hoping eventually to qualify for promotion. This passive approach creates permanent gaps in your experience. You might spend years managing small internal projects without enterprise-level exposure, or become an agile expert while lacking the C-suite stakeholders management skills required for advancement into program management roles. And these gaps become permanent barrier for your growth. Instead, great project managers do not wait for career advancement to happen naturally. They actively build a resume for their next level role, while still doing their current job. That's why great PMs make their resume the most critical output of everything they do. Moreover, they identify the skills their next level role requires and then deliberately create opportunities to develop those skills in their current position. Take Sarah, like almost every project manager in my online courses who needed formal risk management experience on her resume. Although her small software development projects didn't require it, she implemented a comprehensive risk register anyway, and as a bonus, she actually reviewed and tackled multiple critical risks that would delay the release. If you need enterprise stakeholder management skills, for example, you can try to find an opportunity to improve process across different departments. Even a small one will do. Just experience of dealing with top-level stakeholders will be invaluable for you. In essence, this approach focuses on proactively closing experience gaps by creating real opportunities to practice the needed skills. When you craft your career as meticulously as you manage projects, you grow rapidly by focusing on developing just the required skills. You develop directly into your next level role, already with a resume that opens the doors across the industry. Next difference is something that most project managers never even think about. While most average project managers focus solely on delivering what was asked for, the exceptional ones are quietly turning their projects into profit opportunities for the organization. Average managers define success narrowly according to their job description, delivering projects on time, within budget, and keeping clients happy. And this limited view positions you as an overhead rather than a value creator. Leadership sees your role as a necessary expense instead of strategic investment. Great IT project managers transform this paradigm because average managers see projects as their main responsibility, whereas great ones turn them into gold mines. They identify opportunities to generate additional value beyond stated requirements. For example, they find inefficiencies in the existing workflows and suggest automated solutions that save both time and money. They recognize when the same solution can benefit multiple projects with minimum extra effort. And crucially, they quantify this business impact in dollars and cents. A powerful technique here is keeping a value register alongside all your project documentation. And one of my students, a project manager in a small marketing agency, consistently consulted clients on things they didn't know about branding and web development. In one case, after delivering the initial project, she presented multiple high-value additions from her register, and clients approved them all, generating 5 times more revenue than expected. So in your value register, you need to document additional ideas, features, or improvements you can suggest to clients. When you finish a project, you have already proposals for follow-up work or even new products. Likewise, you always want to do at least one improvement initiative while you lead your current project. This will allow you to save money for your organization, and you become a partner for both clients and your boss. By positioning yourself as a business partner who generates additional value rather than a necessary expense to organize the team, you earn seats at strategic conversations. When leadership sees that your projects consistently deliver 3 or 4 times their cost in the business value, they give you the promotions you want. Here comes the most surprising difference between good and great IT project managers. This may sound counterintuitive, but it's a game changer for your career. Secretly, average managers prefer unambitious people who remain in one place for years. They create barriers by diminishing people's value, limiting exposure to internal opportunities, or assigning work that doesn't allow for professional growth. Unfortunately, this approach creates a ceiling that team members eventually want to break through, but they will do it with resentment towards their management. The project manager also limits their own growth by staying the smartest person in the room. Instead, great project managers actively help their team members grow beyond their current roles, even when it means they will leave your project. Because exceptional leaders invest in mentoring, knowing that every success story enhances their own impact. That's why exceptional project managers create exciting career paths. They see people as professionals who want to achieve great things, not as employees or just team members. They hold regular career development conversations, which are actually separate from performance reviews, where they discuss these long-term goals and where they connect team members with these growth opportunities. For example, I mentored multiple QA engineers in my career. Through this career coaching and highlighting them to senior stakeholders, they became QA leads on other projects or even transitioned to project management. Also, great managers are not afraid of people who will challenge their approaches, because working with great talents requires two-way education, and people will stay longer when they can learn from you. And even if team members move to bigger roles, they still become allies across the organization who will support your initiatives and drive your career further. The next difference between good and great IT project managers is hidden in plain sight, because they transform stakeholders. This might be the most powerful skill that nobody talks about, so let me explain. For example, when a client demands everything delivered in 2 months with inflexible requirements and a fixed budget, an average manager nods and says, "We'll do our best." Then they will implement exactly what is asked for, even if they know better approaches exist. And they become these order takers or servants rather than trusted advisors. That's why great project managers see stakeholder education as part of their job. They help stakeholders understand what's the optimal for their business need and for this given project. For example, once I worked with a client who had a massive backlog of ideas for their product. However, they didn't know how to prioritize it, and every sprint they started from scratch going through the whole list. I suggested a simple prioritization technique that allowed them to assess the impact of each feature on their business goals. This simple approach allowed them to get the best return on their development investment. In practice, great project managers understand that people don't know project management. They don't understand why it works. And it's a part of their job to educate people in better ways. But you must tailor your education to the level of people's skills. And it often means you need to use metaphors, stories, and examples to explain difficult project management concepts. By elevating stakeholders' understanding, these great managers create partnerships that produce much better outcomes. And stakeholders develop more reasonable expectations and start appreciating proper project management approaches. And this transforms the project manager from order executioner to a trusted advisor. But unfortunately, these 5 transformational approaches will be completely useless if you don't have a deep, confident understanding of project management. Your expertise and vision make all the difference in real-world implementation. And now you have two excellent options to enhance your skills. Explore the resources in the description below this video and consider enrolling in my project management mastery course. It will equip you with everything needed to become a truly outstanding project manager. Or watch my full tutorial first to experience my project management vision and teaching approach. This helps you decide if my methodology resonates with your goals. Click the video now, I'm waiting for you there to help you become a great project manager.